Very good morning, guys. Today we are going to start the second unit. So already we have completed first unit, understanding of cloud computing. Second unit, we are going to study about basic fundamental of Azure. So that is getting started with Azure. So in this unit, we are going to touch upon Azure basics, Azure portal, preview portal, management portal, subscription management, billing, pricing calculator, Azure virtual machines, virtual machine basics, status, IP address, creating and configuring virtual machines, configuring VM disk, virtual machine management. So these are all the topic we are going to cover in the second unit. Now we will move on to particular topics. Very good morning, guys. Today we are going to discuss about management portal. Azure storage accounts can be configured with the different levels of redundancy. Locally redundant storage, we can classify in three levels of storage. One is locally redundant storage, and the geo redundant storage, and the read access geo redundant storage. So Azure storage accounts can be configured with different levels of redundancy. Provides locally redundant storage provides high availability by ensuring that 3 copies of all data are made synchronously before a write is deemed successful. These copies are stored in a single facility in a single region. So the replicas reside in separate fault domains and upgrade domains. This means the data is available even if a storage node that's holding your data fails or is taken offline to be updated. Geo-redundant storage makes 3 synchronized copies of the data in the primary region for high availability, and then asynchronously makes 3 reply in a paired region for disaster recovery. Read access geo-redundant storage is geo-redundant storage plus the ability to read the data in the secondary region. This ability makes it suitable for partial disaster recovery. If there is a problem with the primary region, you can change your application to have read-only access to the paired region. And Azure storage supports 3 kinds of blobs. Block blobs are used to hold ordinary files up to 195 GB in size, 4 MB into 50,000 blocks. The primary use case for block blobs is the storage of files that are read from beginning to end, such as media files or image files for websites. They are named block blobs because file larger than 64 MB must be uploaded as small blocks. These blocks are then consolidated or committed into the final blob. Page blobs are used to hold random access files up to 1 TB in size. Page blobs are used primarily as the packing storage for the VSTs that provide durable disks for Azure virtual machines. The infrastructure as a service as compute service in Azure. They are named page blobs because they provide random read-write access to 512 byte pages. Append blobs consist of blocks like block blobs, but they are optimized for append operations. File storage. Azure File Storage is a service that offers a file shares in the cloud by using the standard server message block protocol. The service supports both SMB 2.1 service message block, SMB service message block 2.1 and SMB 3.0 with Azure File Storage. You can migrate applications that rely on file shares to Azure quickly and without costly rewrites. Applications running on Azure virtual machines in cloud services or from on-premises clients can file share in the cloud. This is similar to how a desktop application mounts a typical SMB share, a server message block. We can share any number of application components can then mount and access the file storage share simultaneously, because your file storage share is a standard SMB file share. Applications running in Azure can access data in the share via file system. Developers can therefore use their existing code and skills to migrate existing applications. IT pros can use PowerShell and create, mount and manage file storage shares as part of the administration of Azure applications. Next, we are going to discuss about tables storage. In the Azure, table storage is a service that stores structured SQL data in the cloud. Table storage is a key or maybe attribute stored within the schema less design. Because table storage is a schema less, it's easy to adopt your data as the needs of your applications evolve. Access to data is fast and cost effective for all kinds of applications. Table storage is typically significantly lower cost than traditional SQL for similar volumes of data. You can use table storage to store flexible data sets such as user data for web applications, address books, device information, and any other type of metadata that your service requires. You can store any number of entities in a table. A storage account can contain any number of tables up to the capacity limit of the storage account. Here, queue storage and deploying a storage account. So in the next slide, we are discussing queue storage and deploying a storage account. So in the portal, deploying a storage account by using the Azure portal requires only an active Azure subscription and access to a web browser. You can deploy a new storage account into a new or existing resource group. After you have created the storage account, you can create a wheel of container or file share by using the portal. You can create table and queue storage entities programmatically. So next one is the PowerShell and command line interface, and access and security for Azure storage and virtual machine disk and storage tools. So we have classified access and security for Azure storage and virtual machines disk and storage tools. And storage API, application programming interface, and storage access keys. Storage resources can be accessed by any language that can make HTTP and HTTPS request. Additionally, Azure Storage offers programming libraries for several popular languages. These libraries simplify many aspects of working with Azure Storage by handling details such as synchronize and asynchronous invocation, batching of operations, exception management, automatic retires, and additional behavior. Storage access keys, shared access signatures. If you need to allow users to have controlled access to your storage resources, you can create a shared access signature. A shared access signature is a token that can be appended to a URL that enables delegated access to a storage resources. Anyone who possesses the token can access the resource that it points to with the permissions that it specifies for the period of time that is valid. Up to this discussion, if you have any query or any clarification or any doubt, you have to send the mail p.muttusamy@galgodia university.edu.in, or otherwise you have to make a call 97901 55120. Thanks for listening. Thanks to all. So with this I conclude this topic. Thanks for listening. Thanks to all.